Make food cheaper and irresistible.
Sugar, white sugar, brown sugar, sugar-free sugar, sugar substitutes, refined sugar, sugar, sugar. Yes, that's the answer. Yeah!
Oh, look at these. These are so irresistible. Oh, look at the price. Oh, the kids will kill me if I don't come up with these.
Lower our overhead, increase yield, and create more variation.
I give to the world genetically modified organisms.
A genetically modified pink pineapple? How innovative. Yes, please.
Make food brighter and more appealing.
Let there be color. Red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, green 3.
Pink graham crackers on Valentine's Day? Easiest breakfast ever. Fun and educational.
Make food tastier and more addictive.
May flavor explode forever. MSG.
MSG. Must stand for money-saving genius.
Make food last longer.
May your food never go bad. Food full of preservatives, benzoic acid, calcium sorbate, erythorbic acid, potassium nitrate, sodium benzoate.
Long shelf life. Never goes bad? What a great investment. I'll take 10, please.
It's working, but it's killing people. Fix this. People are dying from these foods, you fool. Keep them alive.
Medications.
Are you confused by all the health claims and information on food packaging?
Don't worry. In this video, we're going to show you how to quickly and easily understand what those food labels mean.
Learn how to make an informed decision about your food choices with just a few simple steps. Get the knowledge you need to make healthier eating choices today.
Also, if you just want to skip ahead and get right to decoding food labels, check out our free PDF, How to Read Food Labels, in the description box below.
I'm Dr. Dusty.
And I'm Ray. We believe healthy living doesn't have to be complicated.
It starts with a new mindset and education.
Join in on our mission of living better every day.
There was a time, not too long ago, when the food we ate did not come in a package. Labels were non-existent, as were the complex ingredient lists we're accustomed to just skipping over today.
We simply ate real food.
Sure, there may have always been some type of food labeling eons ago, but not to the extent as your current labeling today. I mean, you almost have to be a crypto analyst to understand what the ingredients list is.
Before World War II, all over the world, people used to eat in very simple ways using only local and seasonal products as they were constrained to a geographical area. One of the biggest changes instituted by World War II was the increased demand of processed food because women went out to work to replace the male workers and they had less time to cook in the home.
To feed those soldiers at the front lines, the market developed new ways of offering ready-made food that was easy to eat and easy to store. Sound familiar? Easy to eat and easy to store?
After the war, it was also implemented into American society, creating a revolution in food production.
After the war, the processed food that was initially developed for soldiers on the front lines became produced for grocery stores and restaurants in towns and cities.
However, very soon, studies started showing how cardiovascular problems, diabetes, musculoskeletal disorders, cancers, and obesity, all diseases related to poor eating habits, were drastically on the increase.
What they didn't know was that the process of turning real food into ultra-processed food was stripping the real food of its nutritional value, giving rise to vitamin deficiencies, mineral deficiencies, and overall malnourishment.
Before ultra-processed foods, there wasn't a need for food labels. Food was food, but with food becoming a business, food-like items were needed to be listed. Labels were now created and one could see what nutrients were being provided and also what was being added to the item they bought.
The need for food companies to list ingredients on their products led to them making various health claims on the packaging, which a lot of times weren't backed up by enough research or were outright false. I mean, basically, it was a way to get free advertising on their products.
Back in '73, false wellness claims made their way to the Supreme Court, where it got decided that food labels needed to have all the nutritional information listed on them if they were claiming to be low-fat, cholesterol-free, or heart-healthy. What's more, if food labeled itself as a cure or prevention for any kind of disease, it was seen as an illegal drug.
In the 90s, the FDA passed a law which meant all food companies had to be accurate in their claims and include full nutritional info on every product they'd be selling. The nutrition labels you see on so many products include useful info like calories, fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbs, and protein, plus some vitamins and minerals.
This black and white table has become the trendy graphic on any packaged food item sold. Thank you, Berkey Belser.
So whether we like it or not, food labels are here, and they aren't going anywhere. 70% of today's food on the market is packaged.
In order to not fall prey to fancy advertising and false health promises, it's imperative that you learn how to read and shop with knowing how to bypass the promises on the front of the package and learn how to decode the back of the package to make sure you're fueling your health with real food instead of fake food.
Because one, there are many misleading labels. Food is a business, so it's important to keep in mind every time you walk into a grocery store, food is packaged in a way to sell you and to keep on selling you.
So it's important to know the difference between food advertising and the actual product details.
What are some ways that food advertisers tell you what you want to hear? Here are some common misleading labels.
Natural. We think that if something is labeled as natural, the animals must have been raised outdoors. This isn't true, though, as it has nothing to do with the animal's living conditions or antibiotic use. Natural just means that the meat doesn't contain any artificial additives, colors, or was minimally processed.
Humanely raised. Because there's no consensus on what humane means, companies can make this claim even if the animals are living in cramped conditions with antibiotics and physical alterations like beak clipping and tail docking being normal activities.
Pasture raised. Unfortunately, pasture-raised is becoming another one of those claims misused by product marketing. Many brands claim their products are pasture-raised when the animals live in a stationary barn with access to pasture but spend less than 10% of their time outside.
Organic meat and eggs. For meat or eggs to be organic, the animal must eat a diet of organic feed. While shifting to an organic diet is a great start, it's important to know exactly what it includes. Some animals have difficulty digesting grains, so that's something to consider when picking out food. Cows weren't made to digest grain, only grass. Even if it's organic, grain is not a suitable diet for them.
So, if a food item is labeled as organic, this usually means the animal was fed organic feed, but it doesn't guarantee that they lived on a pasture or had quality of life. There isn't any legal requirement for organic poultry to be pasture-raised.
Fresh. Legally, this label term simply means the internal temperature of the meat must never go below 26 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it.
Seriously? So buyers beware. Food packaging has given the businesses opportunity to advertise, and much of what you see is misleading information.
We put something that says natural in our grocery cart and falsely believe that one word means that it must have no pesticides and no genetically engineered organisms were used in its production. False.
And just to add that last straw to the camel's back, there are a lot of GMOs in the foods we eat, but most of the GMO crops grown in the United States are used for animal feed, which grow the beef and the poultry that we eat. Can you put a label on that?
Fat-free, high-fiber, or antioxidant-rich is most likely covering the fact that the product is high in sugar. And this label game continues on and on and on and on and on. Sometimes it's the worst in companies trying to sell you health food. But if it's packaged, wrapped, and has a long shelf life, you have to ask yourself, how healthy is this really?
So yes, it can be a little disheartening at first, but if you're choosing to support a healthy lifestyle, you have already probably said goodbye to a lot of that packaged advertisement anyway.
Well, now that we've talked about the front of the item, let's get into how we decode the back.
What is on the back of packaged food items? The nutrition facts panel and the ingredients list.
Today, we're going to focus on the ingredient list.
When you look at a list of product ingredients, they are listed in the order of quantity, which this means that the highest amounts of ingredients are listed first, all the way down to the lowest amounts used. What the manufacturer used the most of is the very first listed ingredient.
Here's how to read labels in 2 simple steps.
1. What are the label's first 3 ingredients? They make up the largest part of the product.
If the first 3 ingredients include ultra-refined grains, any type of sugar, or hydrogenated oils, it's safe to assume that this product is unhealthy.
2. Choose items that have whole foods listed as the first 3 ingredients.
With a packaged product, always flip over a package and read the ingredient list. If you see a very long list of ingredients, refined sugar, flour, or oil at the top, several ingredients you can't pronounce, it's best to put that item back on the shelf.
Your alternatives. See if another brand has less ingredients, or see if there's a whole food alternative to the packaged product you actually wanted to buy. Or better yet, make it yourself. If you're craving something sweet, it's always best to make homemade cookies rather than buy packaged ones. You can skip out on all the preservatives that way.
In our How to Read Food Labels guide, we have the hidden sugars listed out and also some common misleading health label claims, along with our quick decode flow for any ingredient list.
Don't be fooled by all the food label jargon. Educate yourself and get our free guide to understand exactly what all these labels mean. Then you can shop with ease, knowing that what you're getting is legit.
So don't wait. Grab the guide now. The link is in the description below.
If this topic was interesting to you, you will love our Simple Eats course. Check that out in the description box below.